Are you tired of being everywhere, being everything for everybody? Are you ready to take that cape off and stop being Superwoman? Well, let's talk about it. Get comfortable. Get ready for couch confessions as we talk about stopping Superwoman.
Welcome to the Jay and Marga Show. Woo! We are going to be diving into a deep topic that I feel like a lot of us put on our plates. We don't even realize that we're doing it half of the time. And just between us, like we say, everyday regular lives, sharing with each other, you know, we start seeing how much we put on ourselves and what we need to do to safely back away from it respectfully. And actually, it's setting up boundaries, healthy boundaries.
It is. And it's not, when we realize that we have become everything for everybody all the time, it's roles that, these are titles that we didn't earn these titles. They weren't given to us. They were just automatic. So as a mother, when you have children, whether they are under 18 or over 18, there are responsibilities and duties and expectations that we put on ourselves as mothers, as wives. There are the same thing there. We step into that role saying, I'm going to use an ugly word, y'all, but it's a beautiful word, submit to my husband. I am going to allow him to lead and guide. But there's still those expectations. Like we just had this conversation. My husband had made a comment to me earlier today. I was kind of in my feelings about it because I'm like, what? Excuse me? So now as I'm processing and I'm thinking about it, I was like, well, let me see what he wants or what he likes. But then I had to realize I like it. It's okay with me. I am going to, and there's nothing that's going to disrespect my husband or bring shame, you know what I'm saying? But just, what does Jay like? What does Jay want? You know, so it's not like, you know, it's somebody at the corner asking for some change and now we reach in our bag and give them $100 and now we're trying to figure out how we go. It ain't, no, these are just quiet, subtle roles that we find ourselves end up being Superwoman in. And we gotta stop Superwoman. And we know, like, now I'm a huge avid fan of Wonder Woman, and both Wonder Woman and Superwoman are the heroes. But like, ain't nothing getting over Gal Gadot. Now that's the actress for the Wonder Woman series that I like, but she figures it out. She wins in the end, but at what expense? Like, because as I'm thinking about, like, she lost the love of her life in one of the movies. Like, at what expense are we being Superwoman and Wonder Woman for the world and not taking time for ourselves?
Yes.
So, yes.
And sometimes it's not even about just taking time for yourself. Obviously, we do need that. But let's unpack what that really looks like. The best way that I can start off is just by giving an example. Like for me, I decided to make my health a priority. I finally had my surgeries. I'm feeling good. And so now what that looks like for me is exercising daily. So that takes time. Meal prepping.
You can tell me about the milk.
I know.
We need to
because I've been on a clean eating diet. It's a lifestyle change. I'm not even going to say a diet because it's truly, after menopause and everything, feeding my body what it needs.
Yes.
Not what I want anymore. Because when you could do that when you're young, things change.
Yes.
This is when we're talking about pivoting. It's part of pivoting.
Yes.
So now I have to give my body what it needs just to balance my emotions and hormones out. I shouldn't even say emotions because emotions are just a reaction to what's going on with our system. So with that, my grocery store shopping has been different. Like I have kids who still want to eat what they want to eat, so I have to plan certain things accordingly. All of that takes time.
Yes.
So anytime you have to make a pivot, it's going to come at a cost.
Yes.
So you need to evaluate your life, look at your schedule, and be like, okay, what do I need to give up during this time for that? But still, you have to take into account your household.
Yes.
Who are you responsible for? And two, I don't have a husband, so I'm not responsible to him. But I am responsible for the 2 children that are still living at home. Now, I am on this Greek yogurt. It has, no taste. I'm going to tell you, just because I'm doing it doesn't mean I'm liking everything. But I'm learning healthy ways to sweeten it or this and that. But they don't want to have nothing to do with it. And I can't force that on them. So then, of course, I still got to supply for them. But I am teaching them, it's no longer junk food all the time, this and that. But what cost am I paying, okay? Where before I was watching more TV that's getting nixed, or when I'm on the treadmill walking, if it's finally starting to get nice outside, I plan to be outside more. But when I was on the treadmill, I had whatever show I wanted on while I was walking. Being intentional, like you can group stuff as much as you can. But then also I have to work.
Yeah.
I have books,
church.
Book study on a certain night. I have church on another night. Other things come into play. So you have to map things out.
Yes.
And when we say counting the cost, that's counting the cost, putting it on your calendar, not allowing things to cloud into those spaces that you're setting for yourselves, because it's respecting your body,
yes,
your mentality. It's making you become a better person. Sometimes we have certain children in our lives, or spouses, or jobs that feel like they can rule you 24/7.
Yes.
That's where healthy boundaries come into place.
Yes.
Because like with children, like I can't be doing the cleaning all the time. No, you're responsible for your space. You're responsible for every dish you bring in, every dish you got to take out, rinse, put in the dishwasher. Get some kind of stable system in place.
Yes.
Regardless of how much they want to put on top of you additionally, you have to sit down with them and go through this with them as well. Count the costs.
Yes.
My daughter wants to start soccer, which I love that for her, because I believe kids need an outlet. And I tell her to try different things. And we sat down and I said, okay, let's be honest. You're not the running around type. Are you sure you want to do this? Yeah. Because with my kids, when you commit to do something, you're not going to do it halfway. You're not going to start and then complain and then quit on your team. I'm like, you're going to have to commit and be serious about it, because money's going to have to be paid for equipment, certain things you need. Now, because I want to be a supportive mom, I'm going to be taking time away to pick you up, take you where you need to go
to the games,
be at games and this and that. So again, counting the cost. Can I do it in this season? Now, there was a season when I had multiple kids in my house. They love sports, which I'm a big fan of, but that many kids at 3 different schools.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I had to sit them down and tell them, okay, during fall season, I only can handle, certain amount of kids at that time. Then, let's get sports. You sign up, by season. Yeah. So everybody could, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
We do it to ourselves.
That's wisdom.
Yes, we do it to ourselves when we want to accommodate everybody and everything. And that's not being realistic.
It's not. And as you were speaking, I thought about a conversation that I had this morning with someone. And stopping Superwoman looks like being transparent and open with our sisters, having conversations that you might be embarrassed about. And so I'm speaking with my hairstylist. Basically, I was getting my hair done. And I was telling her, I was like, oh, you would be so proud of me. I said, because I've started drinking water. Now, if you know me, I hate water. Water is nasty to me. I don't drink water before 12 o'clock because when I do, it sits on my stomach and now I feel like I got to throw up. I don't like running to the bathroom like a pregnant woman. And I actually said that. I was like, when I drink water, I go to the bathroom at least a couple of times an hour, once an hour. And I'm like, to me in my head, like, that's unusual. That's not normal to run to the bathroom that much. Because ain't nothing, I don't got no baby sitting on my bladder. And she said, it's actually good that you are going to the bathroom. That lets you know that your body is doing what it's supposed to do. It's not holding on. It's not retaining the fluid that you're putting in it. And she shared how her body retains. That's why she has to wear the compression socks and things like that. Wow. So it made sense. But I only knew that because I wasn't ashamed of saying I pee like a pregnant woman when I drink water, or I don't like water. Because now that I know that my body is doing what it's supposed to do,
functioning properly.
Yes. Yeah. And she was like, and with what you've been through, your immune system, she said, you want it to function that way. She said, you need it to function that way. Yes. And so now I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to drink my water. You know, I may not still drink it at 10 o'clock in the morning, but I know for the bottle that I have, I know that I can finish it between 12 and 6 o'clock. Because then I was like, I don't want to be waking up in the middle of the night either to go to the bathroom. But just now I have a different appreciation for my body because it's cleansing, it's purifying the way that it's supposed to do. But if I hadn't had this conversation, you know, I wouldn't have known that. You know, now I got to talk to Margot when we're offset. Because I probably need to prep. I need to stop eating at McDonald's and Burger King or eat it within moderation. But that's what Superwoman looks like when, okay, oh, I got to pick you up and take you to a track game or from track practice. Like, life gets busy and we just, our cape is just blowing in the wind because we're just going. But then when life has to force us to pause, to slow down, to focus on ourselves, it ain't pretty. Yeah. It's not pretty. So now is where, okay, how can life look a little bit slower for me? How can I rearrange my schedule so that I'm not stressed out?
Before we get into the how to do that, here's a key. When you're going through your day, if you feel like your emotions are up to here, or like tension, or, you know, from your feet all the way up, I don't know how to describe it, like you're just go, 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 go. Have you ever felt that? Anxiety, like your nervous system, something happens in your nervous system and your body feels it. And you're like, I'm just going and going and going. Naturally, our body should be calm.
Yes.
At rest.
Yes. And you know, stopping Superwoman also looks like, I don't want to word this, realizing that change is okay. Accepting and acknowledging that change, because you're absolutely right about how our nervous system, I believe right now, because of the times that we live in, is in an automatic state of fight or flight. We don't have a faith.
Or survival. We've been hearing that word a lot lately, survival mode.
And when I tell you, I'm a music person. We DJ. I love music, all genres of music. I was scrolling on TikTok a couple of days ago, and this video popped up, and there's this woman. Her voice was so heavenly, so angelic, and I realized she was singing opera. Now, for me, I've never been to an opera before. Like, I've seen it on TV, and they hit the high notes, you can't understand what they're saying, and automatically just I'm flipping the channel or switching the channel. But her voice was so soothing that I could literally feel my body relaxing. So now I'm watching her. I find her. I follow her on TikTok. I look to see if I can find her on Spotify or YouTube. But she does have an album out. But when I tell you, there is something that I now play it in the mornings. And if right now it's just her. I've tried to hear some other people, and I don't know if it's the tones or the ranges that she can hit, but it literally relaxes me and puts me into a state of calmness. Like I can feel my body releasing all of the tension. But here's where we get mixed up, or this is where we get thrown off, because right away your mind will tell you, you ain't been in the opera, you don't know nothing about opera, you've never. Okay, and that's fine. I didn't realize the benefits. I didn't realize as a 43, whatever, however old I am. I'm either 43 or 44. Ain't no shame in my game. But, it's okay that at 40, how old am I? I got to get it. As a grown woman, yes, I like opera. Yeah. And if somebody be like, well, you ain't never used, that don't mean I've had to come out the womb like an opera.
Exactly.
Or be 10. Yeah. No, it's okay that
you're just now appreciating
I'm appreciating opera. And it is going to be incorporated into my life.
And maybe it's because you're doing your music lessons too.
Oh, yes, because that's the other thing. I'm taking saxophone lessons. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Just because I didn't start when I was 7 or I've been playing since I was 10 does not mean that I can't do it. Doesn't mean that you can't do it.
And you know what? Right away when you're discussing that, first of all, because we've always heard that they've done studies on, what do they call that? The classical music, Beethoven, Mozart. They tell you to listen to those because those frequencies do something to your body, and it does help you. And it actually, people listen to that stuff to retain information, like to study and stuff too as well. Okay. Because it triggers within our system. So you're absolutely right in saying that with the frequencies or this and that. But the other thing, when I brought up your saxophone lesson, we don't realize this, and this is what I love about, is a shout out to my friend's business, the McDowell Healing Arts Center.
Yes.
Because they believe in healing through the arts, because there's therapeuticness in whether it's painting, drawing, coloring, playing instruments, listening to music, conducting music, There's just something about God created us to be creative beings.
Yes. Look at the sunrises. The sunsets. How the sky is like a pink, purple, blue. Like,
it's beautiful.
If He created us in His image, we get to do the same thing.
And we just get bogged down by all these screens, TV screens, movie screens, computer screens, phone screens, that we forget how we're truly made.
Yes.
He created us perfectly.
Yes.
We're misaligned with that because we do not take that time to be creative, to have that outlet to calm our nervous systems down.
And when it comes to stopping Superwoman, you have to learn who you are in this moment and in this season. Yes. Like, I used to be so upset, or not upset, but kind of bothered, because I don't remember my childhood. I can't tell you who my 3rd grade teacher was. I can't tell you who my elementary principal was. Like, just things that people so readily talk about. But I was comparing myself. So that's another thing we need to do to stop Superwoman, is to stop comparing ourselves to another woman's story or journey, or where she's come from, where she's at, or where she's going. Because they're all going to look different. But I was just like, people become lawyers and like, oh, I've always wanted to be a lawyer, or I've always wanted to be this. Like, I don't have that story. And with taking saxophone lessons, my daughter is going to teach me how to swim. Just so much that I'm going to start doing. But God had to tell me, He said, you got a blank canvas for you to be able to paint and create whatever story you want. And I'm like, when I saw that, because it's not like I was tied. And even if I was tied to something. So let's just say I was 10 and I at some point said I wanted to play an instrument and never did. That's okay. Now's the time for me to take the lessons, and you learn so much about yourself, because in me taking lessons, I'm realizing how tight and how tense I am, how I'm always on edge, I'm always on guard. And so now when I practice, I have to tell myself to it's okay to relax, Jay. You don't have to be rushed. Placing my fingers correctly, not having my fingers so tight. And this is even showing up in the way I drive. I don't even drive as fast as I used to. Sometimes I still get it if I need to, but it pours over into other arenas or areas of your life.
Same here.
Yes.
Yep.
So what is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to learn?
You might not even know.
Yeah.
And we discussed this before, excuse me, where make a list of things you think you might want to do. Try it for a month. We say give it a month because the first time you're going to be, it's brand new, you're not sure how you feel about it or this and that. Try and give it a month. Even if it's wanting a little garden, start with a little herb garden at your window or something, sewing. There's so many different things that you can do. Cooking is another huge thing. Like I said, anything creative and anything physically active as well.
And I want to encourage you, give it a little more than a month. Only because as adults, as women with families, with obligations, I'm realizing how to be patient with myself. I don't have a bunch of free time to practice the saxophone. I got to get it in where I can fit in. And I've been taking lessons, I think, since like December, either November. No, since December. And after about a month, I was like, oh, this ain't working or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But I really wasn't practicing. Last couple of weeks, I've actually sat down and practiced. I've actually realized where I need to have my mouthpiece, how I need to have my mouth. I need to practice my breathing and controlling the flow or the exhale to create the sound. And now that I've done that, that's encouraging.
Yeah, it's a milestone.
It is. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I have to keep going, and being patient with myself is realizing I'm not going to be playing like Bonnie James in 6 months. Right. I'm not going to be playing like Kim Waters in a year. And who knows, maybe if I had the time to dedicate to it, then maybe I would. But being patient with myself and realizing I'm going to have some squawking and squealing in the beginning stages. But that's okay.
Yes.
Because now it's like, it makes me feel good. I'm happy. I'm at peace. I have something that I'm interested in. It's not all about my children. And that's another thing. I'm not going to talk about it now. We're going to talk about it in our next show. But when it comes to letting go of certain things as Superwoman, it means trusting God with the things that we have to let go of. Because as Superwoman, like if going back to the movies or the shows, Superwoman and Wonder Woman, they didn't really let go. They stayed at it. They stayed at it. Even when it looked like they was defeated, they stayed at it. But for us as children of God, as daughters of God, letting go is a requirement. It's mandatory. Yes. Because if we don't let go, then that's telling God, oh, I can do this better than you.
Here's another thing. I don't know why this just came to me. And this is brand new to me. Okay? So I still have to exercise this myself. As you're talking about letting things go, how often do we really sit and be still? On a daily. And I mean on a daily for real. Because do you know that if we don't give ourselves time to either, number one, start your day before you start your day, or number two, decompress before you go to bed, that is unhealthy for you. And I never realized that. And I've started to, when I say exercise, incorporating these things into my life. And that be still part is something I still need to get a hold of. Because I said I was going to dedicate myself, and when I wake up, I was going to set a half hour for me to either get in my word or meditate or this and that. I'm not doing that consistently yet. That's just a half hour out of my day.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
That's as much of a superwoman that we are, as I know it's not just me, that we can't take a half hour to benefit ourselves, to be still, to say, whether it's your positive affirmations,
Yes.
whether it's just to pray, whether it's just to map out your day so you have a clear set timeline,
Yes.
so you're not stressed. But it's not for getting up and get my clothes ready, because that's activity. This is clearing the mind. It's setting you up for the day. Or again, at the end of the day, for decompressing, to releasing, to really letting go and having peace. Because we say yes to way too many things.
Yes, we do.
Why? Because we want it peace. We don't want to hurt people's feelings, or we feel like we have to be at every game.
Yep.
And I've even told my kids that, sometimes I might have to miss.
Yeah.
But sitting down and being real about it, because you're also helping people around you learn life skills.
Yes.
Coping life skills for a healthy. Everybody wonder why am I so anxious? Why am I
so tight?
Yep.
Tense.
Or why am I depressed? Because I
Yes.
don't feel like nobody cares about me, or I'm doing all of this, or
Because you can't pour from an empty cup. You can only get so far on one tank of gas. So if
we
you
push it to the why
E.
are we pushing
to
it?
yes, at some point you're gonna end up stranded
Yes.
if you
Oh,
don't
that's good.
stop and refill. And we know we don't like being stranded. So taking that moment, like Margot said, to just, okay, God, talk to me. Love on me. You may not even have anything to say. You just might need to not do anything.
Yeah.
As someone who's always on the go, I was just telling Margot that I was sitting here waiting for her. It was just so nice to not be doing anything in that moment.
And you said it was peaceful.
Yes, it was peaceful. I need to do more of that. We need to do more of that. Because when life then starts to rev up, or you get sucker punched out of nowhere, you're not reacting. You'll be able to respond with love. You'll be able to respond with the word. You'll be able to know that, okay, you can't okay, God, okay, Daddy, I'm gonna let you handle this.
Yep.
That's how we stop Superwoman. You stop Superwoman by getting in the spirit, getting into the presence of God.
Amen.
Allowing him to show you, you know what, go ahead and make this left right here. Or you know what, I'm gonna need you to change those plans. Don't even worry about it. And it may not make sense. I think I shared it last week how when I got thrown some lemons and God told me to go on about my business, and I'm like, it may not make sense, but it makes faith.
Yep. To revisit that is a good example. Because in a moment where the majority, and I can say this, the majority of us would think, no, you have to attend to that situation. You're not going to be a good mom. Like, I can tell you all of the negative things that the enemy will come and say to you in that moment. But God was saying,
yes,
no, you go. You exercise that. You go and exercise.
Yes,
you continue to do what you was doing. And that was a directive from the Lord. Now, there are times where we have to go, where I had to get up and go. When I got a phone call and I was quiet, I was listening, and right away I felt that stress, that all of my emotions wanted to pour up and out. But I got calm, and I was like, Lord, what would you have me do? Because when you hear certain words over the phone that you don't want to hear, and you hear your child on the other end telling you things, and I had got quiet, and I said, Lord, what should I do? And he's like, ask her. And I asked her, do you want me to be there? Do you need me to come? Her response is, yes, Mom, I need you.
Yep. And then that's when we move. And you said something, and I meant to share this with you this week, and I completely forgot. But this is what it looks like when we get instructions to do something and it doesn't make sense, but you know you're hearing from God. This week, one of my scriptures came from Psalm 51. And you said, like, that sometimes we have to make sacrifices. Mm-hmm. And it is true. Like, one of the things that we love to say is that obedience is better than sacrifice. And that's true. But what does it look like when a sacrifice has to be made? It's going to be uncomfortable. But what God gave me peace in is in Psalm 51. And it says, verse 17, the sacrifice you desire is a broken spirit. You will not reject a broken and repentant heart. Mm-hmm. So that's what sacrifice looks like when we're broken, when we're lost, when there's something beyond our control that we know we can't fix, and we're just being all over the place. God wants you in that moment when your spirit is broken.
Amen.
When you don't know what to do, where to go,
yep.
You turn to him and you offer him that sacrifice of a broken spirit.
Yes.
You let him speak to it. You let him heal it. You let him, because both of us can tell you that situation in the physical, in the natural, he taking care of it.
Amen. Way better than what we could have ever have done. You know?
Yes. Mm-hmm. You are good. You can take that cape off. Let's fold it up. Put it on the shelf. Hang it up in the closet. Mm-hmm. Let God be your super God. Mm-hmm. Let him be super in your life. Let him do the supernatural.
Yep.
Instead of you trying to, the super.
To your natural.
Yeah, the super to your natural.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because, man, okay, God.
Yep.
Okay, God. I trust you. And that's going to be next on the Jan Marvel Show. We're going to talk about trusting God.
Yes.
But,
and what it truly looks like.
Yes.
Stopping.
Mm-hmm.
Stopping. Mm-hmm. It's funny that you said that. It's all coming together for me right now. Right here. We're calling it super. Stopping Superwoman. We can need to stop the super. We're not the super.
Yeah.
God is the super.
God is the super, yes.
We're the woman. We're just natural. So let him be let him be the super.
Yes, yes. Because when you know I feel like we could keep going.
I know.
But when you know you on the winning team, you on the winning side, that your captain, your general, your lieutenant, like when you know he got.
Yep, he's your cape. Yep, he is your cape carrying you through. And when you got that team going like that, yes. you can't lose.
Let God be Superman. You be Lois Lane. That's what you do. Let Superman come through and pick you up, take you through the friendly skies. You know what I'm saying? Yes, God, be my Superman. Yes. Oh, I love the way what the kids do. Yes. So, I think we could keep going.
But join us for the next episode.
Yes.
The Jay and Margot Show as we have Couch Confessions.
Yes. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.